Welcome, everyone. We are about to dive deep into one of the most powerful, mysterious, and, honestly, most debated moments in all of ancient scripture. Now, this isn't just a story about a family reunion. Oh no. This is a cosmic event, squeezed into a single, intense human interaction. We're talking about a meeting 20 years in the making between twin brothers, Jacob and Esau, born moments apart but total opposites, worlds apart in their very essence. Their encounter just crackles with tension and history, and it all comes down to this one fateful, enigmatic embrace that has, quite literally, echoed through millennia, shaping destinies and defining the very nature of spiritual conflict itself.
And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. I mean, on the surface, those words sound like a resolution, right? It feels like the perfect Hollywood ending to decades of rivalry, of theft, of fear. You read that and you think, okay, this is it. Forgiveness, brotherly love finally wins. But, as we are about to see, underneath the simple, beautiful surface of these words, there is an entire universe of hidden meaning, a cosmic drama that's literally encoded into the ink, into the very shape of the letters themselves. This isn't just a description of what happened, it's a blueprint.
So to unlock this blueprint, we're going to go on a complete journey. We're going through all 4 levels of mystical interpretation, a system known as the Pardes, the orchard. First, we'll start with the literal story, the pshat, in an embrace of fire. Then, we're going to uncover the clue hidden in the text, the remez, in the mystery of the dotted kiss. From there, we'll actually map the metaphysical source code, the drash, with the cosmic blueprint of conflict. Then we get to the deepest secret, the sod, in the tears of prophecy. And finally, we'll translate this ancient code for modern worlds. So let's begin our journey into the layers.
Okay, we always start at the level of pshat, the simple, plain meaning. This is the story as it happened on the ground, the raw data. Before we can get to the secrets, we have to appreciate what's on the surface. So let's just try to visualize this scene together. Really try to feel the heat, the dust in the air, because all these physical details, they're the foundation for everything that comes next. They're the anchor for the entire mystical structure we're about to build.
Let's picture this in, let's call it 4K heritage style. So, for 20 years, Jacob has been gone, in exile, and now he's finally coming home. He's a planner, a strategist. He's just sent waves and waves of gifts, goats, camels, cattle, basically a moving wall of please don't kill me to soften up the brother he tricked so long ago. He looks up, and there he is, Esau, the hunter, the man of the field, and he's not alone. He's got 400 men with him. You can just feel the air get thick, right? It's charged with potential violence. And then something totally unexpected happens. Esau runs. He doesn't walk, he doesn't stride, he runs. Dust is kicking up from the dry earth, a cloud announcing his arrival. His arms are spread wide open, a gesture that could mean a huge hug or, getting ready for a fight. Jacob bows low 7 times, total submission. And the embrace, when it finally comes, it's a collision. It's a collision of bodies and history. It's not gentle. It is a sudden, powerful, intense crush. And then Esau falls on his brother's neck and kisses him. This isn't just a peck on the cheek. It's a lingering, tense, and deeply ambiguous moment. And under that hot sky, they both start to weep. These 2 titans, the fathers of nations, are just crying in each other's arms. But are they tears of a joyful reunion or something else entirely? The pshat gives us the scene, but it leaves us hanging with that question.
Now, let's move to the next level, remez. This is the world of hints, of clues. This is where the text itself winks at us, letting us know that the surface reading doesn't tell the whole story. The ancient scribes, in their incredible wisdom, they actually embedded a signal, like a flashing red light, right in the middle of this emotional peak, just to make sure we wouldn't miss the deeper drama going on.
Okay, look closely at this word right here. This is the Hebrew for "and he kissed him," vayeshakehu. In an original Torah scroll, if you look at this word, you'll see a series of little dots placed directly above the letters. Now, this is not a typo. It's not a smudge from 2,000 years ago. It is an ancient and profoundly deliberate marker from the scribes, a signpost telling the careful reader, hey, something highly unusual, something conflicted is happening right here. These dots are a flag on the play.
These dots are called encoded, and you can think of them as the original hyperlink. It's the scribes basically saying, pause here, look deeper, do not take this word at face value. They're put over a word to show that its plain meaning is either incomplete or it's internally conflicted, or maybe even the total opposite of what it seems to be. They just scream ambiguity. So the presence of these encoded, it transforms a simple verb, to kiss, into this profound psychological and spiritual puzzle. It forces us to ask that crucial question. What was the true nature of this kiss?
So here's the crucial point, this dual reality the dots are showing us.
On the surface, what do we have? A kiss of reconciliation. It's peace, it's family restored, it's forgiveness. It's exactly what we want to see. But the secret meaning, the one that the Nakuda are hinting at, is one of conflicted intent. The ancient commentaries, like the Zohar, bring down a pretty chilling interpretation, that Esau didn't come to kiss Jacob's neck, he came to bite it. In this view, his heart softened for just a second, his teeth hit a neck that had miraculously turned to marble, and his murderous plan was stopped. Now, whether you take that literally or as a metaphor, the point is the same. This is a moment of profound internal conflict. The external action, the kiss, does not match the internal reality.
To make this ancient idea really click for us today, think about it in terms of technology. Imagine you have two rival operating systems. Let's call them System J and System E. For just a brief moment, they have to interact to avoid a system-wide crash. So what do? They perform a surface-level handshake protocol. Their interfaces temporarily sync up. They might even exchange a few packets of data, in this case, the tiers. But their core programming, their basic architecture, and their long-term goals remain completely and fundamentally opposed. The connection is functional for a second, it serves a purpose, but there is no true integration. There is zero trust. That is the dotted kiss in modern terms. It's a connection that actually highlights the very incompatibility it's supposed to be bridging.
This deeper conflict, well, it leads us perfectly to our next level, drosh, the exegetical inquiry. And this is where we zoom out. We move beyond the personal story of two brothers and into the metaphysical source code of reality itself. On this level, Jacob and Esau aren't just two guys anymore. They are archetypes. They are the physical manifestations of two basic cosmic forces. Their conflict isn't just about a stolen birthright. It's a collision that's literally built into the structure of the universe.
In the language of Kabbalah, Jacob represents the cosmic principle of Tiferet, which means harmony, beauty, balance, truth. He is the central pillar in the tree of the Sephirot, the divine emanations that structure all of reality. He's the force that's designed to integrate mercy from the right and judgment from the left. He's the system built for holistic processing, for seeing how everything is connected. Esau, on the other hand, embodies Gevura, strength, judgment, severity, but it's an unrectified Gevura, which means it's just raw, untempered power. This is the force of Din, of strict, uncompromising justice that divides and separates. He's the system designed for discrete executive power. So their meeting isn't just a meeting. It's nothing less than a collision of these two primary cosmic energies, harmony trying to interface with raw, untempered power.
In mysticism, these forces even have colors that show you their essence. Jacob's Tiferet, because it blends forces, is often seen as a harmonious green or a radiant white light that contains all colors. It's the synthesis of Chesed, or loving kindness, which is white, and Gevura, judgment, which is red. While Esau is the pure unblended power of red, the color of blood, fire, and strict judgment, Din. So when they embrace, you get this incredible image of a radiant sphere of white and green light touching a sphere of deep, fiery red. They make contact, they interface for a moment, but they do not and cannot blend. The core identities stay separate and totally incompatible, at least at this stage of cosmic history.
The cosmic code of this moment is even baked into the numbers. Check this out. 2, that's the number of primary forces in tension. Jacob and Esau, mercy and judgment, integration and separation. 7, that signifies the full spectrum of the 7 lower emotional attributes of the divine, from kindness to majesty, which are all fully engaged and strained to the max in this interaction. 10, that shows us that the complete divine structure, the full tree of life, is being put to the test by this attempted reunion. The entire system is under stress. And finally, 13, that's the numerical value of the Hebrew word akkad, which means one. It represents the state of perfect unity that is the ultimate goal of creation. It's the unity that is being sought in this embrace, but ultimately, it's not yet achieved. The embrace is an attempt at 13 that gets stuck at 2.
And where precisely does this cosmic showdown take place? The text is super specific. Esau fell on his neck. Now, the neck in Hebrew, Zohar, is not just some anatomical detail. Mystically, the neck is the fragile, essential channel that connects the head, which symbolizes intellect, divine will, the world of ideas, to the body, which represents our emotions and physical reality. It's the bridge between thought and action. And, this is crucial, the ancient sages call the Holy Temple in Jerusalem the neck of the world.
It is the precise geographical and spiritual pipeline connecting the upper heavenly worlds with our lower physical world. It's the place where heaven and earth are supposed to kiss. So when Esau, the force of unrectified judgment, falls on Jacob's neck, well, that's an action of immense and pretty ominous prophetic significance for the future of that holy place.
All right, so all of these layers, the literal, the hint, the cosmic inquiry, they all lead us here, to the final and deepest level, Sod, the secret. This is where we finally uncover the ultimate meaning of the embrace, the kiss, and most importantly, the tears. This is the prophetic vision hidden right in the heart of the encounter. This is the long-term implication of this single moment.
And they wept. But here's the thing. They were not weeping together, not for the same reason. This table shows the massive difference in what was going on inside them. Jacob's tears are completely selfless. He is weeping because of a prophetic vision. In that moment of physical contact with the raw force of Gevurah, he sees the future. He sees the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem, the spiritual neck of the world. He sees the long, painful exiles his descendants will have to endure at the hands of Esau's descendants, who are identified in tradition with Edom and later with the Roman Empire and the oppressive powers throughout history. Jacob's tears are for the future, for history, for destiny. Esau's tears, though, are totally personal and stuck in the present. He weeps for his own loss, his past, his wasted birthright, his lost spiritual chance. Or, as some commentaries say, he weeps in frustration that his heart softened in that one moment and he couldn't follow through on his plan. His focus is on himself, his power, and his past.
So here it is, the secret, the Sod. This entire encounter is a prophecy being acted out in real time. It's a living blueprint of future history. The embrace on the neck is a prophecy about the physical and spiritual fate of Jerusalem. The dotted and authentic kiss foreshadows a peace between these two world forces that is never fully genuinely going to happen. And the two very different sets of tears reveal the spiritual conflict that will define history. The struggle between a destiny focused on spiritual endurance through exile versus a focus on worldly power and personal grievance. This one human moment contains the coded blueprint for thousands of years of human history.
Okay, so we've just journeyed into this incredibly deep and complex code. It's cosmic, it's prophetic, it's thousands of years old. But the real power of this wisdom is that it's timeless. So how do we translate it for our modern world? Let's try to deconstruct these mystical dynamics into frameworks we can all understand instantly.
First up, the video game version. Imagine an epic RPG. You've got Player 1, Jacob. His class is a harmonizer or a sage. His stats are maxed out in wisdom and spirit, but his raw strength is lower. His primary quest objective is to unify the family and secure the spiritual lineage. Then you've got Player 2, Esau. He's a pure warrior, maybe a barbarian class. His strength and power stats are off the charts. His main quest? Reclaim dominance in what he feels is his rightful inheritance. The embrace scene is a temporary truce cinematic. It's a scripted cutscene you have to watch to advance the plot. But here's the hidden game mechanic. The dotted kiss is a failed trust check in the game's code. The action happens, but the underlying condition for a real alliance isn't met. The outcome? The main quest for true peace is not completed. And both players get a long-term, future conflict debuff that's going to affect all their future quests.
Now for the cosmic engineering version. We have System A, that's Jacob/Tiferet. Its core protocol is optimized for integrated harmony, for holistic processing, for seeing the big picture and finding balance. Then we have System B, Esau/Gevurah. Its protocol is built for discrete judgment, for executive power, for clear-cut divisions. The action they perform is an attempted interface sync through a temporary handshake, that's the kiss. But the system diagnostics immediately throw an error log, Nekudot kiss inauthentic. And the reason for the error? Sync failed due to a core incompatibility in their foundational architecture. They're just built on fundamentally different principles. The result is that some temporary data sharing does happen. The tiers are exchanged, but the full system merger is aborted. Both systems immediately revert to adversarial standby mode, with the system diagnostics predicting inevitable future conflict based on their opposing core directives.
And this is what brings this ancient cosmic story right into our lives right now. Because if this story is a blueprint, if every single human encounter we have contains the same potential, the same code for conflict or for harmony, for truth or for veiled intent, it forces us to ask a really difficult and personal question. How many of our own handshakes, our own embraces, our own words of peace are just dotted kisses? How often does our external action mask an internal reality of unresolved conflict or resentment or mistrust? It's a question worth thinking about.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.